So you're going to start off with 2 long pieces of fabric. Now these are 2 feet by 8.5 inches wide. And I have 2 layers here just to make the bag a little bit more durable. And the gray is going to be on the outside and the white is going to be the inside color. Next, I'm actually going to use my hot glue gun and basically just glue a little seam. Basically just glue the whole thing together. So now that we got our 2 pieces glued or sewn together, we're going to fold this bag inside out. We want the outside to be on the inside right now because when we glue these together and flip it right side out, the seams will be on the inside. Now I'm going to fold this almost halfway and I'm just going to flip that flap over and just to see, is that a comfortable spot for the flap to be? And I want to say yes. 6 inches of flap and the rest is folded in half. So next I'm going to hot glue the sides. So I'm just going to put a little bit to make a seam here all the way down to the bottom. I'm not going to worry about the actual bottom because it's folded. And then repeat on the other side. So you should have a nice little pocket. Now we're going to flip it over. So now we're going to take these seams and we're going to flip all of those in. So this flap has a nice seam that you don't see on the outside. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and make another seam, but I'm going to go all the way to the very end and fold that in. So it should look like this now. And then just repeat on the other side. Now that we've got both sides, we're going to flip it over and turn it right side out. And that is what it should look like. But I do want to cut out that little shape where the hose is going to fit in. Next, I'm going to find the center of the top flap. I think that's about 3.5 inches. And I'm going to kind of center this circle template somewhere in the middle. Now, the circle that I'm using is 1.5 inches wide, I believe, this one. And I'm just going to take a Sharpie and draw half of that circle. So that is what I'm looking for. And I can just take my straight edge and draw 2 lines down. And that is what that should look like. And this part we're actually going to cut out. So that is what that should look like. And I have this piece of trash I found that I am actually going to put right in there to attach the hose to. But before I put that piece in there, I just want to take some hot glue and glue these 2 layers together in here. Now that we've got that sewn together, or better yet, glued together, we can put some seams down here at the bottom. And that is what your inside seams should look like. So next, I'm going to figure out where this fits exactly. And I'm going to flip this up. And I can take my Sharpie and I can just mark a couple areas, and then I'm gonna hot glue this plastic piece right onto the bag right there. Okay, so that is what it should look like. Now I put a lot of hot glue on the back and then I put some on the inside. You're not really gonna see the inside because we're gonna put a hose there. Next, I just have some of this gray elastic, and I also have these clips as well that I'm going to just kind of loop on there. So to put the straps on, I'm just going to make 2 cuts about the same height, somewhere in the middle here, the same width as the elastics. So that is what that should look like. I'm just going to take my strap and I'm going to fit that through there. So that is what that should look like. I'm just putting a little bit of glue in between those 2 pieces of fabric, and I'm just going to close that up so that doesn't become fringy. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here and just glue that flat. Now I'm not going to permanently attach these just because you never know, I might need them for another project. for the back, I'm just gonna flip this over, and I have 2 pieces of fabric here that I just glued a seam on the inside, and I'm actually gonna glue those right up top. Take a little bit of glue and just glue the top and the bottom of it. Not all the way around. And we have some belt loops. Finally found a old garden hose. I pulled the rubber piece out, replaced the inside with some fabric, and probably going to cover the outside in the same fabric just to make it the right size and color. Well, that looks pretty good, and it is very lightweight because it's mostly just fabric. Now I just got to poke a hole through there and then connect it. And I just hot glued some fabric on the end of each of them to connect it. And I'd say that's looking pretty good. And the final touch, just a couple pieces of duct tape on here for the little yellow stripes, and finished.